views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
The following audio is via a Skype call.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail. Wow. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's so great to have you tune us in and turn us on. You know, I'm thrilled today about the lineup we've got for all of you. First, let me give a shout out to Mr. Benny. Hello, Mr. Benny.
Hey, Pat.
Well, we got a hot one today.
Always.
I know. That's what I'm talking about. Joining me on the show is Wendy Rose Williams. You know, we're going to be talking about regression healing. And when I say regression healing, what do I mean? Well, that's why we've got her on the show today. And we've got 3 copies of her book to give away throughout the hour. It's really kind of cool and it's exciting. You know, for those of you out there, what does regression healing mean? The book is Regression Healing 1, The Huntsman, the Lord High Mayor, and the World War II Soldier. What do each bring to the table to help us understand that there may be some things happening in our lives that just cannot be explained? There may be things that happen, anxiety, panic attacks, depression, things that you think, I don't understand what's going on in my life. And we try to figure it out logically. We try to sit down and do the math on it. And even with all of that, we just cannot get it. Well, Wendy is joining us here today to talk about why this is a fast and faster growing aspect of the work she does. But why are people so hungry to figure it out? And how is it that she has the answer? Wendy, it's great to have you here. Great to have you on the show.
Well, thank you, Dr. Pat. And to your listeners, I'm so happy to be here today.
Well, let's talk about what I just said. You know, there are people that have tried, for some of them, for their entire lives to figure things out, to figure out what is going on with me. I just don't understand. You know, I wake up every day, I'm anxious, I'm having panic attacks. You know, there are things happening that even my doctors don't understand. And you have what could be called the missing link, don't you?
Well, I really, that's a wonderful thought. And I think what you're describing is the left brain and just trying to use our logic, trying to use our ego. It's that thinking part versus the feeling. And when people start to be able to ground their energy and to just put their hand over their heart and just get into their body more, be out in nature, whatever it might be, to help them get more grounded and clear in their energy, and to be willing to try something different to heal. That can just make a huge, huge difference.
Yeah. You know, one of the things I was reading about you and the work that you do and what you talk about is this idea of tuning into our soul's wisdom. And I wanted to talk with you a little bit and have you share how tuning into your soul's wisdom happens through past life regression healing.
Yes.
Yeah.
The way that really comes about is it just helps give you a bigger picture, a bigger sense of yourself, a bigger feeling of how you fit into the world. And it just takes away the anxiety, the perfectionism, that beating up on yourself that we can all do when you realize you've got more than one chance. You've got more than one opportunity. What if you really were meant to live life fully, but then experience it again and have new experiences and just be accumulating that wisdom to be able to really put the pieces together and tune into that wisdom of your soul, of who you really are, not just you at this moment in time.
I want to ask you this question because being who you are, working with people, and helping them discover this soul's wisdom, that's a journey in itself. I mean, clearly we're talking about the book and we're going to share the stories in the book. But how about your journey? What was this like for you to discover what was going on in your own world, but more importantly, to say, wait a minute, I want to learn more about past life regression healing. What was the journey like for you?
The journey for me, it came on in my late 40s, and I was having a successful, traditional, kind of conservative life. I have an MBA degree, have 2 children, single mother, and just was at the point where I didn't realize that this change was going to come on me very quickly. And what occurred was in 2010, I discovered Michael Newton's Journey of Souls. And reading that book really just changed everything for me. It's like I literally felt the world shift. And it just made so much sense to me because of how he delineated the work he had done with his clients in past life regressions and life between lives sessions, which is a 4-hour, very comprehensive session. And it was like I'd picked up the answer book. It was just really, really a profound moment. And very quickly, I knew that I was going to want to have my own past life regression session. And I did do that in 2011. And then in 2012, I had a Life Between Lives session. And those 2 things just changed everything for me. And they then inspired me to train and to become a past life regressionist myself.
Yeah. And, when we look at this, many people are familiar with the term, especially our listeners, of past life regression. But I would like to have you take us on a brief journey, even before we jump into the book, about regression healing and how it works, and maybe, some misunderstandings about it, because I believe there are some. So please
Certainly.
give us a little education here, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. What regression healing is, it is a quantum healing technique. It's based on Dolores Cannon's. It was inspired by Dolores Cannon's quantum healing hypnotherapy. It is simply working with someone one-on-one in a guided meditation to help you relax, to help you look at things in a new way, and to be really able to start to tune into that wisdom of the soul that we talked about. During the process, you are aligning with your higher self. You're getting more in touch with your guides, and you're just tuning into the right side of your brain where the images are that come up every night when you dream. And it's a perfectly natural state. It's not someone doing something to you or forcing something on you. It's a choice if you're going to choose to relax and to follow someone's voice during a guided meditation. So unfortunately, kind of the Las Vegas and the TV entertainment type hypnosis is given therapeutic hypnosis. It's caused a lot of confusion for people because they think, oh, you're going to make me dance like a chicken. And that's not what's going on. It's to help people release things from their current life. And then most of my clients, about 80%, do experience past lives, but some don't need to. Some during regression healing, because it includes not only past life regression, they may be healing things from earlier in this life. I mean, don't we all have things that we're ready to let go of, that we're just hung up on, that just don't make any sense anymore? Let's just let them go and send them off to the light and move on in a happier, more peaceful and loving way. So many of my clients will go to a beautiful place of healing and go through this exercise where we bring in a series of colored lights. And that is a lot of people's favorite part of the session. And many people love going to the Temple of All Knowledge, and they get to submit written questions ahead and just really get answers to things that have always puzzled them and they're hung up on. Some people go to another planet, some go to another dimension, some go to the future. So it's very, very flexible, is what I love about regression healing. And people don't need any special skills. You move into this state when you're falling asleep every day and just before you wake up. So it's a perfectly natural theta state.
Yeah. This is what we're going to talk about today on the show. But more importantly, we're going to share what Wendy Rose Williams, my very special guest today, has discovered in her book, Regression Healing 1. And we have got 3 autographed copies to give away. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, what is possible? What is possible in the discovery when you're working not only with Wendy Rose, but more importantly, the discovery in the healing process? And what is it about the huntsman that so opens up the door to questions being answered? Stay tuned, everyone. We will be right back.
Want to help reduce the divisiveness in our world? Each year, the School for Esoteric Studies holds a subjective group conference. This year, our focus is on unity in diversity, the science of right human relations. From April till June, we will meditate together, study relevant writings, and share practical strategies for improving how we relate with each other. Join us to help build inclusive communities. Check on our subjective group conference at esotericstudies.net. That's the School for Esoteric Studies at esotericstudies.net.
Tune in to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit JenRoyster.com for more information.
Is traditional medicine not working for you? Do you still feel as if your health isn't 100%? Here at the Holistic Medical Center, Dr. Nushin Darvish and the qualified staff look through the dimensions of wellness and start a healing plan prioritized to your needs. Our physicians assess the whole you until complete health is achieved. Get the help you need by visiting drdarvish.com or call 425-451-0404.
When your body is awakened, your spirit comes alive. Dana Canetto is a transformational guide, embodiment coach, and spiritual mentor assisting women in realigning with their truth and embodying who they are by connecting to the wisdom of their body. Tune in every month on Transformation Talk Radio and the Dr. Pat Show Network for Body Divinity Radio with Dana Canetto. For more information on Dana and her services, visit danacanetto.com. That's DANACANNETO.com.
Are you ready to thread your life with intuition? Intuit Apparel can help you do just that. This is not just about a piece of clothing. This is about a movement, an awakening, and staying centered in life. Your life. Intuitive and host of the radio show Get Into It, Lynn Brown, was given this image with the intention of a clothing line designed to represent the essence of life itself. Visit intuitapparel.com now and wear your intuition with pride.
For those of you out there, thank you for tuning us in and turning us on. And if you want to find out more about me, go to the drpatshow.com, or you can go to transformationradio.fm, and then you'll get to peek on the channels there, or Transformation Talk Radio. If you have calls today and questions for Wendy Rose, we have a toll-free number right now, 1-800-930-2819. We'll make sure we get your questions on here, try to give you a little insight to what you may or may not know about regression healing. What is the best way for people to find out more about you, of course, but also how they can get a copy of the book?
Yes, they are able to get a copy of the book in either paperback or Kindle on Amazon, and they would simply search for me by my full name, Wendy Rose Williams, or by going in under the book tab and putting in Regression Healing 1.
Awesome. Thank you for taking the time and talking with us about, what regression healing is and what the possibilities are. In your book, you've picked out some of the most incredible stories to share. And I love the way you did it, because you actually give us sort of this dialogue so that we can be part of hearing how things unfolded, meaning how things unfolded right in the middle of it. Let me ask you this question. Why was it important to do the book this way for you?
It's very funny. I didn't have an intention or a grand plan of writing this book, and I tape. I think you know something about that.
Yeah, I do.
How things can just kind of ambush us at times, and it's just our best path to be on. We just get into the flow. So I record all sessions with clients so that they have an MP3 so that they can go back to listen to it, because a lot more healing and insights come to them that way as they work with their own recording. And this session, the MP3 recorder failed for the first time. And fortunately, I had also taped it with my phone. But I was then in a situation where I had this tremendously long 4.5-hour session, this big recording on my phone. And I couldn't hand the phone over to the client. And there was no way to move the file off it. It just baffled Verizon and everyone else. So I started to type it up for him because I knew there was tremendous information in healing. And he thought his session had been about 2 to 2.5 hours, and it was actually 4.5 hours. So that's just a great sign of a really good session, because the person doesn't remember a lot of it, meaning there's lots of wonderful healing there for them and information for them to gather. So I started typing it. And as I started typing it, I was very surprised, because when I first took a break and looked at it, I was about 3 hours into it. Oh my goodness. I just thought I would be typing it what the client had said and what I had said. And instead, There was a cover page. There was a note to add a table of contents. There was a note to put a resource guide at the end. And it was a book. I mean, clearly a book was being born, and that was just what was meant to occur.
Yeah. I love this because, first of all, you clearly had some insight into saying, yeah, maybe I should follow these breadcrumbs. Maybe there's something here for me to pay a little bit more attention to. And you did. Now, you selected specific stories to put in a book. And I wanted to start out with chatting with you about the huntsman.
Yes.
And you can't predict what's going to show up in these. And I think we should be really clear about that, right? I mean,
Correct.
You don't know in advance.
I do not. I don't know where the person will journey to. I look at regression healing sessions, Pat, as being a magic carpet ride.
Yeah.
And I get the privilege of going along with the person, but I don't know where they're going to go. I just help guide them and ask them questions. I'm helping interview them for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The other thing you also do is, people ask, well, are these sessions going to be recorded? Am I going to be able to hear myself? And tell us what your thoughts are on that.
I record all sessions.
Nice.
And I just think it's very, very important for people because it can convince the skeptical person too. I was so skeptical. I'll be honest, when I went into my own first past life regression, I wasn't even going to trust the therapist to tape it. I recorded it myself with my own phone because I just was that skeptical and that left-brained and that much of an MBA at that moment in time. And when I heard my voice on the recording and I heard my higher self come in, just everything changed. She was just so much more thoughtful. Her wisdom, her voice, her energy, her demeanor, nothing else could have convinced me but hearing my own voice and energy change on that recording.
Awesome. Now, the huntsman. First of all, I love that. I love the way that sounds and feels. And what I said was you couldn't predict what was about to happen. Tell us a little bit about the huntsman, but also tell us a little bit about the client here.
Yes. Well, the client is someone that I've known since 2010, and he is a soulmate. He is a person that I've had a lot of lives with, and he had the soul contract to wake me up spiritually. He's the person that introduced me to Journey of Souls. So what a perfect circumstance then, 5 or 6 years later, he's the person who took me to my first past life regression. And what a wonderful cycle that I then trained and then did a session for him. So it just was very meant to be. And the huntsman, the Lord High Mayor, and the World War II soldier, those are simply the 3 past lives he experienced during his session.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I want to just be clear with people because I don't even know that folks are aware that when we say past life, we think, oh, I'm going to discover my quote past life. And what we're talking about here is something different. Can you explain how that even shows up?
Sure. I believe most people have hundreds, if not thousands, of lives and incarnations. Some are on Earth, some may be on another planet, in another dimension, as a different life form. And my belief of the purpose of that is for us to progress at the soul level, and that we're very driven to learn. So we look at things from all different points of view and all different viewpoints to be able to really move into mastery.
Okay. Do you get surprised? And how often? See, I'm reading this book and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, wow. what does this even feel like? So how about you?
I get surprised by every session. Every session is truly a privilege. Every session has a surprise. Some have many twists and turns, not only for that person, but sometimes for me. And this session was just very personal to me because I was not expecting this client to begin rattling off so many of our shared past lives and how we needed to close them out, clean them up. And he just brought a lot of closure forward for both of us.
Okay. So before we start this, I want to take a short break and come back because you're going to take us on a journey. And what I love about this is when you read the book, you clearly feel like you are right there. You are right there. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about what actually unfolded here. And more importantly, when it unfolds, what do we do next? Where do we go from, how should I say it, there? Let's take a short break, everyone. You're listening to the Dr. Pat Show and Transformation Talk Radio. Very special guest joining me here today, Wendy Rose Williams. When we come back, yes, I'll make sure we repeat how you can find out more about Wendy Rose and also schedule your time with her. We'll be right back. We're going to take a short break.
I saw stars on the pavement, California dreams. Looked up through the bright lights, no stars did I see. You said it's all yours if you take.
Bree Gibbs is a fourth-generation high priestess with the knowledge to raise your vibration and conscious creation. Offering a wide variety of services from goddess light and shamanic healing seminars to private reading sessions, Bree works with you so you too can stand in your own power. Isn't it about time you took your life into your own hands? For more information about Bree's services and products, visit silvergaia.com. That's silver, GAIA.com.
A word of caution. If you prefer the status quo and you are not interested in improving every aspect of your life, this book will trigger the shift out of you. The Truth is Funny, Shift Happens is available now. Author Colette Steffen brings the powerful knowledge and life-changing energy and empowerment from the radio airwaves to the pages of her new book. To get your copy in paperback or ebook, visit thetruthisfunny.com today.
Sky Siegel co-hosts one of today's most popular psychic shows, Angels and Answers, with Artie Hoffman, as she communicates healing messages from the spirit world. These messages can be astounding, enlightening, and life-changing. Born with the God-given talent of inner guidance and the amazing ability to heal, Sky has healed thousands of people. Schedule a reading with Sky now. Call 908-500-1474 and visit skyofangels.com.
Hi, this is Leslie Fontaine, and my show is Sheer Alchemy on TransformationTalkRadio.com. When we're bogged down with our emotions, the hardships that plague us in our relationships, at work, our finances, we literally can't see the higher plane where we could be operating from. Tune in to Leslie Fontaine, Sheer Alchemy on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Tune in to Dynamics of Diversity Radio, scripting the new narrative for immigration with leading experts Kripa Upadhyaya and Steve Tanijo on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This show will remove the noise that often accompanies discussions on this topic and share a new perspective on the dynamics of immigration and diversity, ever reminding us that together we are all at the core of innovation, excellence, and positive change. Visit OrbitLawPLLC.com for upcoming topics.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show, Talk Radio to Thrive By. I am so thrilled to be talking to all of you. We have got talk radio for all of us. Are you ready and willing and able to accept all of the abundance you can muster up in your life? Check us out, thedrpatshow.com, transformationtalkradio.com, transformationradio.fm. Oh my goodness.
It's all yours when you smile. It's only you who loves me like you do.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's great to have all of you tuning us in and turning us on. We've got a great lineup for you today. Today, Wendy Rose Williams joining me here today. And as I said before, you can get a copy of her book. But I would love to give a copy of the book away to one of you right now. 1-800-930-2819. 1-800-930-2819. Give us a call. First caller will give away the first book. And, you know, we're getting ready here to talk about, you know, what this experience does. You know, what happens when you now learn and discover that you had a past life, but what is it that past life tells us what can be healed? Can you share a little bit? I know you've gone into great detail in the book, you know, about the huntsman. Let's talk about the huntsman first, if we could, Wendy.
Yes. Well, that was a past life that the client experienced. It was then contrasted to his current life and just really showed him what some of the different choices led to. And it just helped him balance up because he's currently in this just very, very, very busy life. And it just showed him some of that contrast and what the choices lead to. Okay, so can we have a little bit of that story? I know we don't want to give the whole thing away. Sure. Yeah. What he experienced was, it was really a pretty straightforward, simple life in a lot of ways, where he was living alone and doing a lot of walking, being out in nature a lot. And one of his moments that he experienced pretty regularly was he was connected with an older gentleman that he saw as a mentor, and he would bring him food quite regularly. And he would just need to take a long walk to get there and to bring this gentleman food to help him out. And I think that was important for him to just see that service aspect and just the beautiful simplicity in it of helping this man have enough food.
Yeah. You know, when we think about these stories, we cannot even imagine what might, you know, show up. And I was really struck by your interviewing skills. And what I mean by that is the questions that you would ask, right? But there's also instruction. You know, one of the things I was reading about, you know, is you asking them, go there now. You know, what does this place look like? And the response back, it's pretty clear, right? You know, the response back is, you know, this place is very dark. And then you go on to ask more questions. And then I'm right in the middle of watching the client in the middle of this get a revelation. Oh, I see it now. I've got food. I mean, to the point where, you know, here we are, this is what we're getting. And all of a sudden there's a discovery and an awakening. And I would like for you to talk about this, because you don't stop there. You keep going, right?
Correct. I work to focus on what the person can see or feel. I mean, we have so many senses. People can be locked and loaded on the visual, but many of us know in other ways, by just hearing or knowing, or you might just sense something or smell it. I mean, we have all our senses. And he would get a little frustrated at times, as we all can, and say, well, I don't know, that doesn't make sense, or I can't see. And you just redirect, what can you see? And just reassure the person, you can do this. You're doing very well. And you just help hold the space for them. And within a moment or two, they're getting something. And it just, that energy just gets stronger. And they're more relaxed and more able to tune into their senses.
I asked you this question before about, do you have surprises? Do you get ahas? And there's so much in what you share in the book here. What's the client's reaction? What happens when, the client then starts to read what he actually said? What happens in that process? Because as I'm looking at this and I'm thinking about, wow, okay, this is a lot of detail. What's their response to this?
I check in with clients several times after sessions. I typically check in at 2 or 3 days. Are there any immediate questions? And then I check in again when they've had a chance to listen to their recording. And some of the things that people have told me, they've just really made my heart sing. And it can be the simplest thing, like, I feel like the weight of the world is off my shoulders.
Wow.
One woman told me, and she said, I actually feel taller. And she was learning to forgive herself. And the theme of forgiveness and self-forgiveness comes up again and again and again. In my life and my work, it's the theme of probably the first at least 5 or 6 of my books that are coming.
Yes.
And it's just, I love what Marianne Williamson says about forgiveness, that it's the most important thing we can do for humanity and for mankind is to learn to forgive. It's just very powerful. So clients going back to what's called the lifetime of origin of a physical pain, an emotional pain, whatever it might be, something that's gotten them stuck, and reinterpreting that and releasing it can be very instantaneous. And this session was quite interesting in that typically I'm able to lead the client to that life pretty easily and we get to the lifetime of origin. But in this case, with this client, I did not. And he presented with physical pain. He'd had a broken neck and had that surgically repaired. He had a lot of back pain, kidney pain, and knee. And when I did the body scan and checked with him during his session, okay, we've been to the Healing Temple, we've done this, we've been going for several hours and visited these various lives. I asked his higher self, because he'd attuned with his higher self, which was a powerful moment because he hadn't had much of a sense of his higher self before. So I asked his higher self and guides, is he now pain-free? Did we get it? Did we accomplish what we needed to accomplish? And he bluntly said, no, you didn't take him to the lifetime of origin. We need to go back. And he then directed me and told me, you need to take them back, and directed me where we needed to go. All the wisdom is within each person. It's within us all. It's just being able to get that mind chatter, that clutter, that ego of need to do it this way. You need to do it this way, out of the way.
Wow. Well, we have a caller waiting to chat with you that has a question, and I would love to go to the phones, Mr. Benny. Who do we have?
We Tammy from Seattle. Welcome to the show, Tammy.
Hey, Tammy.
Hi, how are you guys? Hi.
Good. How can we help you
today? I love your topic today. I love your topic. My question is, where can I begin to let my past aggressions go? Where can I start?
I'm sorry, Tammy, I couldn't quite hear you. Where can you start to let your what go?
My past aggressions go. Where do I begin? I've been doing a lot of that right now, searching, and I just want to make sure that I'm in the right direction that I'm going. So where can I begin to start?
Got it.
Okay.
Do you meditate or have any spiritual practice?
Yes, I've been doing that a lot more than I've ever have. So, yeah.
Okay. Does that help? Do you feel that the meditation is helpful for you?
It is helping me. helping me to take in a bunch of information that I needed to know. It's, I think where I'm having the most trouble with is I'm holding on to the stress, and I'm trying to release that too. And so that's
okay. And how about being in nature and really simple exercise? Is that part of your life?
It is a little bit. I'm sort of I've got a back issue, so it's hard for me to walk around, but I'm trying to get myself more outside and walking around. I do believe I need to do that more often.
I know that's just a tough cycle. There's so many of us. I've experienced that too, with a lot of back issues and a lot of mobility issues. And then, well, gee, how do you do what you need to do to get better when it's not comfortable or easy? Have you ever considered doing a past life regression? Have you looked on YouTube and done some of the simple guided meditations there, like from Dr. Brian Weiss? No, this is the first time that I've heard about it. I turned on the radio station and there you guys were. So I know something about your past lives and things like that, but this is the first time I really got more detail on it.
Nice.
Perfect. Well, I put together a pretty comprehensive resource guide at the back of the book, both to a lot of books as well as to healers. So that might be something that would be of interest to you.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to give you a copy of this book so you have it too, but also you probably want to take down Wendy's information. You know, Wendy, what's the best way for Tammy to connect with you personally and continue this conversation?
Sure. Tammy, my phone number is 425-502-0362. And you're also welcome to email me at author, AUTHOR, Wendy Rose Williams at hotmail.com. And people can also look for me on Facebook as Wendy Rose Williams.
Awesome. Thank you. We're going to take a short break right now. When we come back, more about the Huntsman, Hi Mayor, and World War II soldier, and Wendy Rose Williams. We'll be right back.
What is a brilliant culture? And how do we create them? Why are they important? Claudette Rowley has created a breakthrough 5-step process to help you design a culture that is authentic, innovative, and successful. Learn how to create change with Cultural Brilliance Radio, the DNA of organizational excellence, and Claudette Rowley. To learn more or work with Claudette, visit ClaudetteRowley.com.
Artie Hoffman is the hottest psychic with the warmest heart and the host of the hit show Angels and Answers. A renowned psychic, medium, spiritual life coach, and an entertaining motivational speaker, Artie has helped over 15,000 people with his amazing intuitive gifts, his passion, and his humor. Call 877-ANGEL-02 to schedule a personal reading or to have your own psychic Artie party. That's 877-ANGEL-02. And visit ArtieHoffman.com and Angels and Answers on Facebook.
Are you looking for the perfect setting for your next workshop or retreat? At Spirit Fire Meditative Retreat Center, cultivating consciousness is what we do best. Our guests count on us to create an atmosphere that supports serenity and well-being. We lead from the heart and create space for the mind. Freshly prepared meals designed with local and organic ingredients, 95 acres of beautiful woods and pastures, and a facility built with green in mind. This is what you'll find at Spirit Fire. For more information, visit spiritfireretreatcenter.com.
Be unstoppable. Who do executive women count on for up-to-date information on everything from stilettos to being heard in the boardroom? To achieve excellence, you must first take control of your life and develop a successful strategy with the Unstoppable Diva. Tune in to Up or Out with Connie Fife, Mondays 5 p.m. Eastern, as she cuts through the BS to guide you to become bold, connected, and unstoppable. For more information, visit uporout.com.
Are you feeling stagnant or blocked in your love life, career, health, or finances? experiencing difficulty focusing or setting and achieving goals? Tune in to Spiritual Diagnostics Radio with psychic visionary healers Carol Dorian and Suzanne Evans. Discover the cause and effect of unwanted patterns in life. Tune in every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio. For more information, visit spiritualdeed.com.
Be you plus live your purpose equals joy. That's the motto of Unstuck Joy with Vicki Todd. Vicki believes you were born with gifts that are meant to make the world brighter. Each show will feature an art visioning journal prompt to help you create your way to soul clarity. If you're ready to get unstuck and create more joy, this show is for you. Tune in every month on Transformation Talk Radio. For more information, visit VickiWorldArt.com.
He doesn't play for the money he wins. He doesn't play for respect.
Wow. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's great to have all of you tune us in and turn us on. And Wendy Rose Williams joining me here today, of course, Regression Healing 1. But, Wendy, before we just jump into some additional information about the book, we've got Darcy calling in. Darcy's got a question for us. Hey, Darcy, welcome to the show.
Boy, thank you, Dr. Pat. I actually wanted to just relay maybe a brief experience that I've had with Wendy, because I read the book. I absolutely loved Regression Healing 1, and I have done 2 past life regressions with Wendy.
Wow. Good.
Hi,
so
Darcy.
You want to give us some insight? Share the experience.
Hi,
if you don't mind.
And well, you just said it. It was a wow. It really was. I've done a lot of, work on myself spiritually for probably 30 years or more, and this was really a wow. I was shown different lives that really validated what I'm doing now and showed me who I was, and I knew these things, but Wendy is so wonderful at guiding you, and the healing that you do is just so incredible. And she took me to a deeper place, and I walked away with feeling so much more compassion for myself and the earth and all its inhabitants, whether they're people or animals, that I didn't even know, because I thought I had a lot of compassion already. But it really impacted me going forward. I felt, so safe and supported, knowing, that even beyond my own experiences previously, that we're not alone, and it's okay to fail. It's, any fears, any hesitations, they really fell away to a very large degree. And I feel like full speed ahead, because I remember, the recordings and Wendy's words, and it's so powerful to have these experiences come up from yourself, and to have somebody that's so adept and so skilled, to know what to ask and to really guide you this way. And so I just can't say enough, about Wendy. And I told several people about the book, and after reading Regression Healing 1, they're scheduling appointments with her, because it really is life-changing.
Wow. Wendy, what do you make of that?
It doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah.
Thank you, Darcy. You're just such a privilege to work with. And I'm just really awed by the work that people do. And that's a big part of the beauty of this work, is they're willing to do the hard work and willing to look at things that they haven't either wanted to deal with before or just weren't effective at dealing with before, and being able to release it, whether it's anxiety or depression. I mean, think how prevalent those are in our society. And I really feel it's because we're not tuned into our higher self and our soul. And we just don't know how to do that. So this technique is just so wonderful to be able to do that, to be able to release pain and just unblock creativity. I have so many people come to me that are authors or musicians or whatever it might be, and business people too, whatever it might be, that want to be able to take that next step and just aren't sure how, or just don't quite have the courage to change their life in a substantial way. And once they have a session, they take those steps. And that's really exciting.
Wow. I mean,
And you're such a nice balance, Wendy.
Yeah, isn't it cool? And for the people listening to the show, you also said that you read the book, and I wanted to just ask you both. There's so much that it's hard to explain to people, what it is that happens. And I wonder if you can talk about how lives do change as a result of this work, right? That's really what people are looking for. How is my life going to change?
Yes, and that is what's critical, Dr. Pat. And a lot of people say to me, well, why would I want to delve into the past? The past is over and done with. Well, it still can have an impact on you now. I mean, unless your life is really, really going 100% the way you want it to in all the major areas, if it's not, that means that there's room for improvement. There's something that can be enhanced, something that can be unblocked. There's some centering that can occur within ourselves. And that's what this can really do for people. So I have seen people start writing and get published. I have seen people start new businesses. I have seen people be able to get financial resources that they couldn't get before. I have seen people move forward and fall in love and move into a very positive new relationship. I've seen people let go of the fear, let go of the anger. Like our first caller, and that takes guts to say, I feel angry. I don't know what to do with it. How can I transmute that? How can I heal and release that and move into a more loving and peaceful place with joy?
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing this do for people.
Yeah. Yeah. And, honestly, for us, when we think about this, we can't possibly be thinking about the impact overall. And you've done an amazing job in the book of taking us on a journey. And on that journey, people get to explore what's possible. I want to thank you for doing that. And I wanted to ask you this. I know we've got a couple of minutes left. Can you just share a summary of some of the other things that people have healed? Because it's called regression healing. And I know we talked about forgiveness, but it's not just limited to that per se. It could be everything from, the job that I didn't get, to how mean my 5th grade teacher was to me. There really is no, this is more important than the other, is there?
Correct. And it's so many of the big lessons and the attributes. I mean, Darcy hit on a big one with compassion. And you're hitting on another one, Dr. Pat, of resentment. So it's just being able to let go of what no longer serves us and being able to move into being more loving and more peaceful and really raising our vibration to care about mankind, to care about the animals, to care about the earth, and to just really move into that journey of that whole conversation of we really are all one, and what we're doing now, the decisions we make every day, they really do matter for eternity.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. And, these are scenarios that quite a few people not just struggle with, but these are showstoppers for a lot of people. Really showstopper. Darcy, thank you so much for chiming in today. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Awesome. We've got a couple of minutes left, and I know there's so much we did not touch upon in the book. And again, I wanted you to just, tell folks, what's the personal message? What do you want to say to folks about this journey? And please, again, give out your website, how they can get a copy of the book, and how can people reach you?
Yes. Well, regression healing is fantastic at helping people attain better health, to attract your financial and other types of abundance and more harmonious relationships. It really helps you learn to manage your energy and be much more grounded and much more clear and easy with decision making and happy with your decision making. It helps people really trust and act on their intuition much more timely. So that's what it's about for me. And the best way to reach me is via telephone, 425-502-0362, via email at author, AUTHOR, Wendy Rose Williams at hotmail.com, or to find me on Facebook as Wendy Rose Williams, where you'll see a cover of the book, Regression Healing 1, available on Amazon.
Awesome. Thank you, Wendy. And for those of you out there, please give Wendy a call. Get a copy of the book. We're going to take a short break, everyone. And when we come back, more with the Dr. Pat Show. We've got another hour coming your way here on Transformation Talk Radio. We'll be right back. Thank you.
The preceding audio was via a Skype call.